I say time, you say come. Time.
Time come for young people. Time come for move Andrew out of power.
Let the people go.
The line stop here. The game done. Time come.
So when them cutting ribbon over hospital with them paint up, we're going to cut hernias. We're going to cut fibroids, cancers.
Don't believe in me. I'm not Jesus. Believe with me. That better can come. With Mark Golding as Prime Minister, the dreams you dream today will be the reality he creates tomorrow.
The people of Jamaica are ready for change. Everywhere I go, I see the wind of change blowing.
Somebody asks me, Perry, why aren't you a labourite? Me ever fresh, me not green.
No one say one blood and comrade victory.
We are going to Jamaica House. We are rescuing Jamaica, and Mark Golding will be the next Prime Minister.
Power to the people. Power to the people. A corrupt government cannot liberate the people. If the head of the stream is corrupt, the entire river will be also.
A blessed good day to you, my wisdom warriors. Wagwan. I hope you guys are in good spirit.
Mr. Golding. Mr. Hilton, you put forward the suggestion comparing Jamaica's electoral process to that of Guyana, which has a history now of concerns about the process, whereas here in Jamaica, we had the OAS, CARICOM, as well as CAFE, all suggesting that the elections were free of harassment, free of intimidation.
This is happening in East Rural St. Andrew, police denying citizens the right to enter the polling center to vote.
Let in the people, man. Yeah, let them in. Let them in. What me gate before 5 o'clock. You're on the screen record, these people. Yo, when you open the gate. Police, let go people and police. Let them go. Time come. Time come, police. Let them go. Bro, let go people and officer. Time come. Time come. One buckler, pay for clear my side on the screen record.
Or any other irregularities, so far as going as to commending us in terms of our conduct here and to put forward Jamaica as a model that the Caribbean can follow. Isn't that a bit out of sorts in terms of that assessment by you in terms of irregularities? And to you, Mr. Golding, your predecessors have all offered their resignations to the wider party following an election loss. Will you not do the same, or will you simply take up your post as opposition leader going into the parliament?
Let me. Well, you want to go first?
No, you.
And let me say, I think the aspects. I don't think what you characterize as overstatement, notwithstanding anything that has been said by CAFE or any other organization that participated. The EU focus, and I'd urge you, and I think you have read the EU report. And if you have, then you'll see that they commented on some other aspects of it, much of which we saw in full force here in Jamaica. The issue that we believe needs to be addressed as an urgent matter is the whole issue of the advertising and promotion before and during the campaign with excessive state resources. And that aspect of it and others were specifically commented on. So my advice is that whatever the specific limitations or the concerns that the OAS or other monitoring group didn't address, the EU's report, I believe, was much broad-based and some of it very relevant to Jamaica.
If I may add something to that before the leader answers the next question. I think we've been very responsible as a party. I think we've been very responsible. Nationwide carried a story that CAFE said that 21% of the persons at the polling station at 5 o'clock were not allowed to vote. We could easily have created a stir with that to suggest that those persons would have voted for us and it would have changed the outcome of the elections. We didn't. We waited for good information, right? For additional information. And we have seen where over the last 2 days, the ECJ has refuted what was carried as to what Cafe had said. And then since that, Cafe today in the paper is clarifying that that did not actually take place. So I believe the comment that was made as well was not necessarily comparing the electoral system in the two countries, but about the report that came out of the election. So I don't know how you got to the point of saying he was comparing the two electoral systems. He was speaking to the report that came out and said that there are similarities that we have seen the same thing here. Cafe, CARICOM, and other OAS, other persons that came here would not have been out in the field to see that $100,000 was offered to an indoor agent not to work, or offered to a cluster manager to give me the canvas of this party. They would not have seen that. They would not have seen what took place in the field. They would have been at the polling station, right? They would not have seen the night before that somebody was offered money to dip their finger in ink and therefore can't show up to the polling station. They would not have seen where we saw some persons, MPs, trying to separate people into lines as to who you are going to vote for. Totally inappropriate, right? From a high-ranking member of the Jamaica Labour Party. So the issues that we are bringing forward here are things that we have contemplated on, we've heard about, and not just anecdotal things, but things that we can say, these based on the reports that we've gotten, and there's additional work to do, but there is sufficient evidence to speak to it at this point to suggest that there was indeed an attempt to suppress the votes. Remember that we did run a campaign, where the last credible poll that came out before the election had us ahead by 3 percentage points, right? Not like the one from Nationwide that said we're 13 points behind. That was totally fraudulent, right? And if you look at the outcome of the elections, it was within 1%, as in the popular vote. So it was within that margin of error. And that is after all the suppression that took place by the Labour Party and the delayed voting by the ECJ that caused persons to leave the polling station and not being able to participate.
In relation to, well, first of all, I'm not aware of any historic precedent of which you speak. There have been instances where party leaders have offered their resignation. There have been instances where they haven't, to my knowledge. I serve at the pleasure of the party, and I'm happy to continue to serve in the capacity as leader for as long as the party wants me to. And thus far, all of the MPs who have been elected, all 28, other than one who's overseas traveling, have signed a letter confirming that they have confidence in me and want me to be the leader of the opposition. Right. And that's where it is right now.
If I may add again, if I may just add something to that. I want for us not to mislead the public with some of the statements. There are some things that are being said in the public space that are just not true. Andrew Holness was defeated by Portia Simpson Miller in 2011. It seems persons have forgotten that. He did not resign, nor did he offer any resignation. He stayed there. He did not even make public the appraisal committee report that was done, right? 10 of the 21 MPs signed a no confidence in him. He's the one that saved himself with his casting vote. I also hear persons saying that it's historic, unprecedented, this third term. When they say one complain about the PNP being in office for 18 years, the PNP has won 4 consecutive elections in Jamaica. So what is historic? It's historic for the JLP that they have won 3 elections. It's not historic for Jamaica. PJ Patterson won in 93, 97, and 2002. Why do we continue to mislead the public in this vulgar manner?
Mark, I just heard what you said. It's one thing.
You're gonna have to deal with the 28 member of parliament. I don't know if it come good. I don't know if it come good. Now let me tell you something. What is happening? My Jamaican people, I want you to understand what is happening. All of them, media, right, who are talking about Jamaica Labour Party win, they all know what Jamaica Labour Party had done to win. They all know. They are all hypocrites. But this is bigger than the media, right? This is capitalist at work, and I want people to understand that. Let me tell you something. What you see playing out here? What you see playing out here is the same fight that Michael Manley had fought in 1980. Yes. The threat of democratic socialism coming back on top. And let me tell you something. Democratic socialism is coming stronger and stronger, right? Leading by Mark Golden. And Gensec, I salute you. I salute you, Gensec, right? To make sure that you strengthen that unity. So let me say this, right? To all of the naysayers and to all of the crony capitalists, if you notice, I did not say capitalism, I said crony capitalists. For them and those, right? And we see the cronyism working in Portland. And that is why Anne-Marie Vaz, right, got voted out. And the Vaz dynasty is going to be crushed. Because we see crony capitalism executing all over Portland. The land grabbing, right? And the further suffering of our people. You think Portland people are idiots? They know what they are feeling. They're feeling the crunch of crony capitalism. We know what is going on. And so then we stand, right, for equal opportunity throughout. Yes, we have seen that crony capitalism get together, right, and crush as it relates to the People's National Party manifesto, as it relates to 2025. And so then Jamaican people again has to suffer. But it is the people. Let me say this to the people. Bob Marley said, emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our mind. Have no fear for all of their misdoings. Right? We have seen that neocolonialism is at work. We have seen the plantocracy at work. And so then the party who decided, as it relates to Michael Manley time, said, enough is enough. Please utilize the opportunity to lift up the poor black people. You have seen when Michael Manley increased the backside. That's one of the reasons why they fight Michael Manley, because the money now was now spreading. When they who on the backside was getting all of the benefit, that four institutions that own the backside. But Michael Manley said enough is enough. We want our resources to be spent to benefit our people. And as a result of that, we have seen Edward Seaga, because it is Edward Seaga dynasty, live on September 3rd, 2025. The violence, the voter suppression, the intimidation. I heard that boy from Big Mama, right? Speaking to Mr. Hilton to say that there is no form of legacy of violence and this and that, say this and that and this and that. They are hypocrites. 1980. What happened in 1980? Because it seems like you're a dunce. But we know you have sat there and someone texts you the questions what you need to ask. I don't know if it's Andrew Holness and his Confederates. Yeah? Because you claim that now you have questions that you want to match up Mr. Hilton. But you're stupid because you don't know your history. If you had known the history, right, you'd have known about what happened in 1980. 1980 worse voter suppression. The CIA hard at work with Edward Seaga to damage democratic socialism. You never know that 1980 exists? Huh? You have not known that 1980 existed? In every election that Edward Seaga run, violence pursue. What are you talking about? And look, the year you born, you might born in the 80s. And so you have lost 20 years of history. Son, you have lost 20 years of history. It is there in the record, the manipulation, the voter suppression, the intimidation. I don't know. So, I mean, tell me, or any organization outside, they are leaning into capitalism. They want capitalism to expand, crony capitalism to expand. They don't want to do. That's why you find it that Ibrahim Traoré has to kick out enough of them. And look on Burkina Faso now. What if they were still there? Burkina Faso would have been suffered, would have been struck. There's a stronghold on Burkina Faso. Until Father God bless Ibrahim Traoré, the spirit of Michael Manley, and what he had done, said no to IMF, no to World Bank. Kick them out. Crony capitalists make Andrew Wallace win this election. So the media house been censored. They can't speak on nothing in terms of what social media presenting. The clear evidence of voter suppression. Right?